Good evening, class. This is a video about hatch practice and hatch styles. I've created 6 shapes and I'll end up creating 2 more here in a moment, but we're going to go through and do some simple hatching. Remember the patterns at the top, and there's your scale. I'm going to increase the scale to 6 just to show the hatch patterns a little better. I'm going to make the first hatch associative. Second hatch, I'm going to remove the associative value to it and hatch that. The next couple of hatches I'm going to do, I'm just going to increase the scale. But first I'm going to show you, if you go down to settings, you can either click on the settings or hit T to bring you up to your hatch and gradient settings dialog box. Here you have a lot of the same options that you would normally have. Your angle, your scale. I'm going to change the scale to 12. If you click on the swatch, it brings up the same patterns you would see on the ribbon. If you click on that, you can change your colors. Change the colors here as well. If you click on the pattern, it brings up a list of all the patterns. You see there's quite a few, but the down arrow will bring you back up the same palette of swatches. The type is predefined. There's your gradient options. And then you can also use current origin, specified origin, or click the set new origin. You can just change those around. Inherit properties is like match properties. Now I'm going to pick points, and there we go. The next thing, I'm going to create another hatch. Make this one associative. I hit T for settings again, and I'm going to uncheck, or you see there it says create separate hatches. This time I'm going to say select objects. You can actually do it by selecting a polygon, and it will hatch the interior of that polygon. Now I'm going to draw 2 lines through those polygons to show you the difference between creating separate hatches and regular hatches. This is where I'm copying them up to create my gradient and my solid hatches. I'm going to create another hatch, and for these I'm going to create separate hatches. I'm taking that off right now. And now when I click there and there, it's 2 separate boundaries, but it will be 1 continuous hatch. When I do it the second time, I'm going to put create separate hatches on, and both sides will be 2 separate hatches. You'll see that in a minute. Now the top left one I'm going to do as a solid hatch. It can be any color, but it's typically the color that you use on your current layer. My current layer is 0 and its color is white. Now I'm going to go up to the middle where it says solid. I'm going to do a pull down menu on that, and you'll see that's where I'll change it to gradient. There's where you can change your gap tolerances under options. Now there are a bunch of different options for gradient, but we're going to leave ours right now as linear. Save my drawing, and you notice I click that hatch, it's 1 solid hatch. There I click those, it's 2 separate hatches because I had the create separate hatch icon clicked. There, as soon as you click a hatch, remember it brings up the hatch editor, and now you can change the gradient from the colors that you want. The first color will slowly gradient into your second color. I'm going to show you guys the difference between what the hatches do. So if I select the boundary of an associative hatch and I change the shape, the hatch goes with it. If I change the shape of the boundary along a non-associative hatch, the hatch stays the same. I'm also going to show you guys with the solid hatch how it can become a little more transparent. I'm going to change the color to red and draw a shape, and I'm going to move that behind it. So I'm going to grab it. I should have selected bring to back or send to back first, but here you go. You draw order, send to back. There, it hides it behind the hatch. Once I change my transparency to 70% transparent, I can see the shape beneath it.